This lesson is about the more common form of a dialogue, a modal dialogue. It's called that because when it's up, you can't do anything else. A modal dialogue will always stay on top of its parent window and insist on being answered before allowing the user to access anything else in the program. This is an updated version of the Show Dialog program that allows you to start either a modal or non-modal dialogue. The only real change from the program in the previous lesson that you can see right here is a new button that was added to start the modal dialogue. Normally, a modal dialogue is popped up to get a response, so here is one of the mechanisms for doing that. The modal dialog is created but does not display itself. In fact, if you wish, you can create a copy of it and use it over and over again. A call to the method getResponse causes the dialog window to appear and wait for input from the user. Once the user has clicked a button, the getResponse method returns with the information. In this example, it's a simple string, but it could be any kind of object containing any kind of information. This is the modal dialog class. In most respects, it's very much like the non-modal dialog class, but there are some crucial differences. It's still necessary to call super to invoke the constructor of the dialog class. Then a call is made to set modal with a true argument, which makes this a modal dialog. Actually, the same thing could have been done by using a different constructor. If you look in the API documentation under dialog, you'll see what I mean. There are several constructors that allow you to include the modal setting. The bottom portion of the window is a panel containing 4 buttons. These buttons are labeled with the sort of selections you'll find in a dialog window. All of this is normal, and all of it's stuff you understand, but let me show you a new trick that's in here. Notice that the constructor builds the window and packs it, but does not call show. The reason for this is that the show method is called later. Whenever a call is made to getResponse, a call is made to show to make the dialog appear. At that point, the user is prevented from doing anything except pressing one of the dialog buttons in this window. And there's something special about the show method that is different in a modal dialog. The show method blocks. That is, it does not return until the window has been closed. You see, that's part of why this thing is modal. The rest of your program can't do a thing unless you started it running in another thread or something. The thread of the program is halted right here. When it does finally close, this method returns the response to the caller. This is the method called whenever a button is pressed. In this example, the action command string from the button is stored in the string variable named response. Next, a call is made to hide, which closes the window by undoing the work of show. Not only does this cause show to return, but this method returns the copy of the response string that it got from the button back to the original caller. Before I show you how this program works, let me tell you another common approach to this. You know the frame is passed in to act as the parent of this window. Well, if the frame is also an action listener, it can be added to the button's action listener lists and be called directly whenever a button is clicked. Anyway, here's how this program works. Now, this dialog prevents access to the parent window. Not only that, but the two of them are connected together. You can access other programs, but the only thing you can do with this program is move this dialog around and make a dialog selection. The selection closes the window, allows the method to return, and the program then prints out the name of the button you selected.